Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Ralph Mahana, who is general manager of the Windsor Court here in New Orleans. And we've stayed at this hotel before, but it's recently gone another renovation. We're going to learn all about that and more. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Ralph, you're actually fairly new as the general manager, but you have a background with this hotel, which is really interesting. Tell me about it.
I do. I started at the hotel when I was 19 years old, at the end of 2005, as an overnight desk agent, bellman, doorman.
Right after Katrina.
Right after Katrina, and I fell in love with it, and I worked my way up. I worked in many, many different departments throughout the hotel. My career started at the front desk, but I worked in housekeeping, the food and beverage area, banquets, and then I had the privilege of being the director of rooms and the assistant general manager, and was honored and humbled to take over as general manager about 6 months ago.
Just 6 months ago, but really this hotel is in your DNA, it sounds like.
It is. I actually spent a tremendous amount of time here. When I was growing up, my family had a standing reservation here. We were here at least once a month. I was crawling under the tables. I was born the year the hotel opened. So it's near and dear to my heart, and I'm so invested in the success of the hotel and really connecting, seeing how we can better the city and represent the city well.
And actually, you already started in your first 6 months. You already completed I think it's a $15 million renovation to a lot of. Let's talk a little bit about what you've done to the hotel.
So the ballroom on the 23rd floor is absolutely beautiful. That was I'm going to start from top to bottom, okay. And that was sort of
that's called La
Chinoiserie,
okay.
La Chinoiserie, and that was the full overhaul, and it is just spectacular. We actually raised the ceilings a little bit in the alcoves, so it feels a lot bigger as well. But it was a full renovation. We did all of the rooms, complete. All of the furniture, all of the carpeting. We did a lot of work in the bathrooms to make them more luxurious, spacious, replaced bathtubs, got rid of shower curtains and kind of went to a beautiful glass door. And then we also did a full renovation of our pool area, and we built a poolside bar called the Waterman, and that has just been fantastic.
Yeah, well, I saw it upstairs, and it's amazing, and I have stayed at this property before, and the thing that I think you've succeeded at, you've done the renovations of the rooms, but it just feels refreshed and renewed. It doesn't change the character of the hotel.
That's correct. It's classic luxury. We will always maintain and stay true to that classic luxury. We're not necessarily going to go contemporary because that is the trend. We are a British hotel. James Coleman was an Anglophile who had such a deep passion for the royal family and Windsor, England.
Well, I know, and in fact, that's I think I've always wondered about that the history of this hotel. Why is it Windsor-themed, British-themed royalty in the heart of New Orleans?
And that is due to our original owner, James Coleman, who is still a New Orleanian, but had a huge passion for British culture, the royal family. We have a $12 million art collection that is for the most part old world English themed art, and it's spectacular. So we will always stay true to that classic luxury. The renovation is really just not to be dated and to be refreshed and bright and beautiful, but always maintain that classic luxury that we know. And
yeah, we can see it. I mean, this is we're in the lobby area, which is always very livable. I think it's one of the greatest spaces of a hotel lobby that I have known, and certainly in this town. But, as I said, let's talk about the range of accommodations you do offer here, because how many rooms are there?
316 rooms. They don't build hotels like this anymore. We're 90% suites. Most of our rooms have balconies. Our average room size is about 750 square feet.
That's huge. And I know I have a lovely room, and even the standard rooms are very large.
They're beautiful. But there's only three. We have 17 rooms per floor. There's only 3 guest rooms, standard rooms on each floor. 2 junior suite accommodations and 12 premium suite accommodations, and the premium suites are about 800 to 850 square feet.
Now let's talk about the dining options on board, and what are they? So they haven't really changed, although you've added this pool bar, which we'll take a look a little later. But talk about what are the things you have in the food and beverage side.
So the grill room, still beautiful restaurant on the second floor of the hotel. absolutely fantastic. We have a fantastic executive chef, Vlada Madarov, who has just done a fantastic job all around. He has the whole operation. We have some of the best banquet food there is in the world. I mean, he really does a spectacular job. And traditional afternoon tea, that is never going to go away.
You are a British-themed hotel. You better have tea, right?
Exactly. Traditional afternoon tea in Le Salon, the room we're in right now. And then we just, we have a new outlet in Cafe Anglais that is the coffee shop in the lobby, and just been fantastic. And then, of course, the Waterman Poolside Bar, which is opened about 90 days ago, and just doing the pool is now not only an amenity to the guests, but there's also an offering. It's a destination.
Right.
And then, of course, the world-famous Polo Lounge is the staple of the hotel from a food and beverage standpoint. And it's just an incredible. The room has so much feeling and so much energy and so much life in it. And 7 nights a week we have live music. So.
And then you have your club lounge upstairs, which I've been lucky enough to do, which has incredible views of the Mississippi overlooking New Orleans, right?
It does. So 60 rooms. The top 4 floors are called our club level floors, and they're going to have access to that club lounge, which offers a fantastic breakfast in the morning, a traditional tea as we have in the lobby in the afternoon, cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, food presentations in the evening, and just really what makes the club lounge. The food and beverage offerings are incredible, but the staff is what separates. That's it. We have never had anybody not see the value in that, in having access to that lounge. You have private concierge staff, private butler staff up there, and they're fantastic. They really do an amazing job of connecting the guest to New Orleans. So we were talking earlier about about where do you go outside of the places everybody know in New Orleans, and that's really what our concierge and our staff is really good at, connecting the guest with New Orleans, and that's a perfect example on Club.
And in fact, the location of this hotel is amazing. And talk a little bit about where you are here, because you are really close to everything.
We are. I mean, first of all, we are very lucky to have the courtyard that is separated from the street level. It's a really private arrival experience, just unique. And then where you can throw a rock at the French Quarter. We're 3 blocks away from the French Quarter, a block and a half from the river. The Arts District, the Central Business District, we're in the heart of. We are no more than 3 blocks away from everything you want to be in New Orleans, everywhere you want to be in New Orleans. And we just put in an installation for a house car as well, so that goes within a 2-mile radius. So if you happen to want to go somewhere, we do have a complimentary house car that will take you. Fantastic.
Well, Ralph, clearly your enthusiasm for this property, and you got to come down and meet Ralph. It is literally, the Windsor Court really has been your life for the last few years, and you have such enthusiasm for this property, understandably. And congratulations on the renovation, on the most recent renovation. I know you have a lot of more ideas for the future, but never to change the character of this wonderful property. And thanks. It's been great staying here again. I've been lucky enough to stay here a few times over the past few years, and I'll look forward to in the future to being down here with you in the future as well.
We thoroughly enjoy having you. It's always a pleasure spending time, and thank you for everything. We really enjoy what you do.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.